Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be with you live this morning, but I'm grateful for the magic of technology that allows me to share this reflection this morning. I'm so grateful that we've been able to join together this summer for these shared services, and I hope all of you are finding moments of connection or inspiration on these Sundays together. When I tell strangers I am a minister, I generally get one of two responses. People tell me about their aunt or cousin or grandfather who is active in a church and such a nice person. Or they say they are spiritual but not religious. And I sympathize. Spiritual but not religious is an identity I claimed for myself for many years. My collection of drums, tarot cards, tree oracles, sacred objects, neo-pagan books reveal the years of exploration as I tried to make sense of my own experiences of being part of this greater whole. I really wanted a deeper sense of being and a sense of belonging to the earth. Richard Wagamy says that the act of being spiritual is simply the act of allowing oneself to feel your spirit move. He says it's just opening myself to living and allowing myself to absorb and be absorbed at the same time. Feeling my spirit move in response to the world, being absorbed into all that is what I seek. I want that feeling of intense aliveness, that vivid, emotional and physical and mental reaction to a vista revealed after a long hike or to a song sung just so. I have had spiritual experiences in my life, moments where I was intensely aware of being part of the whole, connected to all that is. And indeed, I spoke about one in my service back in July. And those experiences that I've had over the years haven't had anything to do with religion as I knew it at the time. No relation to the stories of Jesus or Buddhist sutras, or to a sense of an all-powerful, all-knowing God. I was definitely spiritual, but not religious. And that's true of more than a quarter of Canadians today. This is a growing segment of society. People who seek meaning but reject organized faith traditions. Spiritual but not religious is a valid way to be in the world, to experience the divine directly and make your own meaning from your own experiences. The act of being spiritual is simply the act of allowing myself to feel my spirit move, just opening myself to living. People find ways to express their spirituality in yoga, in meditation, in walking in nature, and that's enough for them. And they find community in their walking group or as hockey parents. Many people don't need their spirituality to be communal. But I found that I do need religion. It's not enough to experience those fleeting, beautiful moments of connection on my own as much as I cherish them. I also wanted a framework of meaning to guide me through life. And I felt this strongly once my son Silas was born many years ago. I wanted him and me to have a place where those big questions about life, the universe, and everything were asked. I wanted him and me to know that life was bigger than just going to school or getting a job. That it includes oceans and foxes and distant planets and pine trees and soaring ravens. That all of it is alive and feeling and beautiful, and we are part of that wondrous whole. And I wanted a religious tradition that didn't ask me to believe what I did not believe. One that could integrate scientific knowledge, one that honored my own experiences and allowed me to come as I am. And at this time I had a friend who attended a liberal Mennonite church in Kitchener-Waterloo, and when I spoke to her about my search, she invited me to join her Mennonite community. I don't believe Jesus was the Son of God, I said. That's okay, she said. I don't either. And the minister is fine with that. Well, maybe he was, but I wasn't. I didn't want to pretend in order to be part of a religious community. I wanted a tradition that encompassed my experiences that had nothing to do with Jesus. When I finally arrived at Unitarian Universalism, it was like winning at a slot machine. 3 apples turn up in a row and the bells go off. We have 6 sources, one of which counsels us to heed the guidance of reason and the results of science. Apple 1. Another source is the spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions which celebrate the sacred circle of life. Apple 2. Another source is the direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. Apple 3. And the bells began ringing. Ding, 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 ding. I felt that I could bring my whole self here. The rational, skeptical side of me that honors science, and that mystical side that knows humans are just one small part of this marvelous whole of life on earth. Part of what I cherish about Unitarian Universalism is that my spiritual orientation is not the only one welcome here. Our 4th principle affirms the free and responsible search for truth and meaning, and my truths may not be your truths. People here believe in a loving God. They invoke gods and goddesses. There are agnostics and atheists, friends of Jesus and Buddha followers. This spiritual independence is fundamental to our religion, making us spiritual and religious. And I am forever grateful to have found a religious tradition that encourages us to find our own ways of allowing our spirits to move, to open ourselves to living, and find ourselves belonging to the greater whole. And we're going to take a moment's break now and listen to a special musical gift.